Hey good people, welcome back to Beauty and the Frizz. My name is Kara, and whether you're new or returning, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me for another one today. Today is the start of my favorite season, fall. And so for fall 2025, I'm going to talk about 25 fall palettes, give or take a few. If that sounds good, keep watching this video. Let me know what you think and consider joining the community because I'd love to have you back. All right, let's get started. So how are you? I am happy to be filming long form content again. If I am being honest with you, I missed it. I have been missing it so much. So I'm glad that you're here. Please let me know how you're doing in the comment section or the chat, whichever you prefer. If you're new here, my name is Kara and I basically share my life through makeup. I really love talking about eyeshadow palettes, even though my relationship with eyeshadow has changed a lot over the years, but I also really love going through my collection, checking on my makeup, seeing how it's doing. I also love trying to figure out how I can use the makeup that I have in a different way since my aesthetic has basically changed. So I hope that sounds good. Without further ado, we're gonna get into it. Make sure you have a drink or a snack. This will probably be a long one. Now, first we want to talk about what makes an eyeshadow palette a fall palette. First of all, you can wear anything that you want whenever you want, any color, whatever the case may be, you can wear it whenever. But when I think about a fall eyeshadow palette, I think about palettes that are a bit transitional, that sometimes will incorporate some of those greens, from bright greens to those grungy, murky brown greens that we see as the leaves change. I also love palettes that have a lot of brown, but also those golds and oranges and reds and burgundies and even plums. So those are all of the shades that I think about when I think about the fall. And so you're gonna see a variety of palettes here, from indie to luxury to like mainstream. You're gonna see it all here. And the purpose of this video is for you to pull out things that you already have in your collection. I'm letting you know right now, some of these palettes are discontinued. And for once, I have everything already linked in the description box. I did it first, so it will be there in case there are palettes that you're interested in or you wanna look for them secondhand. Secondhand, I don't know. Sometimes the secondhand prices have been really pricing lately, but sometimes you can find a good deal if you're looking for something. Without further ado, let's get this party started. The first palette we're going to talk about is the palette that I'm wearing right now. Look at this. There will be a short, it might already be up on this one. This is the Fantasy Cosmetica Fighter palette. I do know that this is still available. And believe it or not, y'all, this is the first time I am wearing this palette. And I'm so sad that it has taken me this long to wear it. Look at this color story. This is like a cool toned fall palette in my eyes. And I just think it is really unique and beautiful. Fantasy Cosmetica is really good with curating their palettes. She does create some 12 pans, but my favorites are the 9 pans, and I don't have them all. I have this fighter palette and I have the Druid palette, but there are so many beautiful color stories. The formula is very, very easy to use, and I just really love how this look came together. I use the shade Marshall. I use Valor all over first, Marshall on the outer corner. Then I put Fervor all over the lid, and I just tapped a little bit of Glory on top, and that was it. I mean, it was so easy to use. I used a little bit of Blade for the inner corner, and I'm so happy with this. I've seen more dramatic looks being done with this palette, but I'm loving that I made a look that's kind of subtle with it as well. So I just think this is such a great palette for the fall, and it's not your typical fall color story. Let me know if you have the Fighter palette. Number 2 is another palette that I have not touched. It's so embarrassing. This is from Menagerie Cosmetics, and this is the Authoring eyeshadow palette. I haven't really seen much releasing from Menagerie lately, and I'm not mad at it because just there's so many makeup releases, and I've done a lot better this year, but the old me was just buying up everything, and that's why I've ended up with this massive collection of eyeshadow palettes that I have not used. I can't remember how long ago this one came out, but it's one of their more recent palettes, and I just think this one is great. It's really unique, and it has these like crisp, well, they're not really crisp, I don't know where I was going with that, but these fall reds, browns, and you have a nice blend out shade here, another brown, and then you have the greens. I love this green right here. I will always go for a murky, grungy green in a palette. And then I love that we have, this looks like a duochrome here. Let's just go ahead and swatch it. Might as well break it. It is. Yes, it is. Let's see. See it right there? And I love shades like that. Oh yes, this one is beautiful. So I'm just thinking about like the leaves changing colors. One of the things that I like about Menagerie is that their shimmers tend to almost have a darker base, almost like black base in my opinion. Okay, that doesn't look like it, but a lot of their shimmers do, because even in their Sugar Glider palette, which was almost like a rainbow palette in a sense, the shimmers just had a richness to them, even though they were bright. And that is one of the things that I really love about Menagerie Cosmetics. And I do love the fact that they don't come out with so many palettes. This one's been out for a while. It is still available, and that makes it still relevant. And I really hope to be using this for the first time very soon. Let me know if you have this and what are your favorite products from Menagerie. I don't have much. I've got the Squid palette, the Sugar Glider palette. I have this palette. And then I have one of the Best Buds Glow Blushes, which it's so nice. So let me know. Not for me to buy anything, but just let me know. All right, the next palette is from Adept Cosmetics, and this is the Samarian Sunset. Now this one is discontinued, and I'm so sad that it is, but I love this palette. I think this palette is so beautiful. It really does encompass the changing colors of the leaves. It reminds me of, well, I was gonna say of a sunset. Yeah, it's called Samarian Sunset, but it does. It has these bright, kind of fiery shades that I just think look so nice on the eye. None of these are the chunky formulas that they used to do. She doesn't really do those anymore, I don't think, but there's just some great shades here. And what I love about this, usually with Adept, I'm not always a fan of the mattes that are chosen to be in the palettes, but this one I'm really cool with. And I remember initially I wasn't cool with this one or this one, but now that I have been kind of setting my lids with a powder, I will use a shade like either one of these to set down my primer, or I'll use it for a matte inner corner highlight, or I will use them to soften the edges of a look. So Samarian Sunset, this is, I think, one of the best releases from Adept Cosmetics. I'm thinking about all of their releases that I've purchased over the years, and this one and Inspired, maybe the Heather Austin palette. I mean, there's so many great ones, but this one is usually the first one that comes to mind when I think about Adept. And I think that this is going to be a really beautiful palette to bust on out this fall. If you have it, I don't know why I said that, but if you have it, pull it out. It is absolutely gorgeous. And I think for me at this point, I will probably be doing one and done or two and done looks where I'm just maybe taking one matte and one shimmer. This one I think would really be nice to do one of the spotlight or halo eye looks where I'm just putting a matte here and here and then just lightly tapping something in the middle if I want it to be subtle, or even just building it up if I want to, or even using the shimmers with a brush. So I look forward to using this palette in a different way this fall. Palette number 4 is very new to my collection, but I've used it about 4 or 5 times already, and surprisingly it's still available, and this is the Bibliophilia palette by Byredo. This is an ode to books, and I just think that the concept is beautiful. Yes, it is simple. Yes, some of the colors do look very close. No, I don't care. That's really the bottom line. I absolutely love this palette. And I think that one of the things I really do love about this palette, and a lot of you have said the same thing, that the formula really does lend itself to mature eyelids. And, you know, I'm no spring chicken, but I just love when palettes have that kind of variety, so that anyone of any age that wants to, you know, experiment with color and things like that can find something where they feel confident and it looks very flattering. And I know that for sure about this formula. It's the same one that was in Mineralscapes. I think that this formula is very luxurious. It reminds me of like a Dior formula or maybe even like a Chanel, but there's still like the element of excitement. I'm not saying Chanel and Dior can't be exciting, but y'all know what I'm saying. There's still like a little bit of excitement. There's still some punch and some sparkle. Now this palette is almost like two palettes in one. So you have your cool side and then you have your warm side. And of course you can crisscross and do, you know, whatever you want with the shades. One of the other things that I really love about this formula is that you can layer the different shades without them getting muddy. And I think that's really important. You know, they blend very, very nicely and they layer very well together. So I'm really happy that I purchased this palette. This is one, as soon as I saw the color story, I was like, it's mine. I'm surprised I'm holding this palette up the way that I am because several shades have lifted. So let me just put it away because I do not want to speak too soon. I will be devastated. A lot of people had like cracked, broken shades and lifted shades. So I'm just going to put her away. Let me know if you purchased this. I know some of you have, and it's on the way. And again, surprisingly, it is still on the Byredo website if you're still thinking about it. I'm not sure for how long. Palette number 5 is by Cosmic Beauty. Everyone's saying Cosmic Beauty now, but Cosmic Brushes. This is the Undergrowth palette. And for a while, they were not shipping to the USA, but I believe that they are now, and that their new palette prices are encompassing any tariffs. So I want to say this one's like $43 versus like $36 or something like that. And before, the shipping was $14. I'm not sure how much it is now. Anyway, all that being said, yes, y'all, this palette is so gorgeous. Now, yes, could you wear this in the summer? Of course. But I'm just thinking about the depth of the greens and how the leaves start to change color, you know, and start to get into those goldens where you're getting into like these types of shades right here. The browns, the orange, like this palette, oh my gosh, I love, this is one of my absolute favorite color stories, and I did a video about all of my earthy color stories. So it was like this one, it was Nomad Okavango, it was Natasha Denona Yucca palette, it was the Clarity Cosmetics Croc palette. I'm trying to think. The Croc palette. There's Lisa Eldridge, that palette she came out with, which anyway. I love this. I think that Cosmic Brushes has like some really, really cool color stories that are just so nice. And I would like to reach for this a little bit more. I tend to go for my Tasha girl palettes, but this is beautiful. The shimmers are outstanding, and so are the mattes. I really look forward to pulling this out. I love this shade right here. I could even see myself doing an all matte look with this palette. I think that would be really beautiful. They usually do incorporate some type of duochrome, and there it is. I want to say that that's the one there. Yep, see it right there. So we're gonna have to do some swatch parties soon with some of these palettes, but today's just an overview. Just a really, I mean, look at that. Look at that. Like, look at it. It's just, I mean, no effort to pick up the shimmers, like a couple of palettes, a palette you might see in this video. But it's beautiful. I think that you cannot go wrong with any palette from Cosmic Brushes. So Undergrowth, that's gonna be my pick for the fall. Number 6 is from my girl, Patricia McGrath. And this is the Mothership 5 Bronze Seduction. Y'all, okay. It's not just Blitz Flame that makes this a fall palette for me, but it is a big part of it. Oh. Y'all, okay, I need to put some tape on this one, but it still works. Look at that sparkly. A little dry here. Hold on, let's see what's happening here. I think that's a toppery shade anyway, but that's not the point. So, I mean, even taking Blitz Flame out of the running here, I would still consider this a very neutral fall palette. But with the addition of Blitz Flame, it does take it to the next level. There's some other very good shades here. I mean, I love the special shades in this palette. Look at this one. That is so pretty. And let's just watch Blitz Flame and see how she's doing, because, you know, my palettes, they're getting a bit old. So, you know, well, she's not. She is aging like fine wine. One of my favorite shades in this palette is Extreme Aubergine, because it's just beautiful. Aubergine is such a great color, and I just adore this palette. I don't know what else to say. It is beautiful. It is the Mothership that I would say when I first really started getting into makeup. I remember seeing this Mothership on Sephora, and that's when I thought Pat McGrath was a man. I mean, I didn't know what was going on. But I was like, why is this palette $100 whatever dollars? It might have been $105 or something, or 120. No, it wasn't 125. I don't know how much it was, but it doesn't matter because it's still expensive. However, Patricia, she has sales. A real sale. So if you are interested in getting a Mothership, please wait. I linked Sephora, I linked Ulta, but I also put in the link, wait for a real sale. And if you know, you know, because Patricia will put everything on sale, and you can get this for like 70 something dollars, because that's what I got the newest Mothership for, in the purple packaging, might I add. But yeah, and let me know your favorite Mothership. Which one's your favorite? I want to do a ranking video now that I have the new one and have used it a few times. But yeah, this one is definitely like, I don't think it's my favorite, but I would say top five Motherships. All right, we're going on to palette number 7. Now this one is discontinued, so I'm just let y'all know. You can get a remastered version, but you can't get this one. And this is a Fall Magic by Unearthly Cosmetics. This one is definitely old, but I love this palette. I do not have the remastered one. I no longer have it. Just because this one, I'm afraid about this shade coming out. Is this my shade Cozy? Oh no, that's Cashmere. I'm afraid that that's gonna come out. This palette, I just wish that the remastered Fall Magic had more of this tone. The new one had like a murky green in it, and it did have some of the same shades, but it's a whole different vibe to me than the OG. And this is just so beautiful. It's even a bit romantic in my opinion. I just think it's a wonderful palette. And again, this is another one where the old me probably would have layered up a bunch of shades, but this me, I mean, I would be doing all matte looks, one and dones. I love this shade right here, Spiced. Love that. She's got some duochromes in here that are really beautiful. Change, oh, Change is pretty. Look at that, Change is gorgeous. I love Cashmere as well. Try to make sure she doesn't come out. That's, I won't say that's like a regular metallic, but I mean, they're just beautiful, beautiful shades and beautiful gowns. I'm so happy to still own this palette. Let's watch this. Oh, I just did. Never mind. I was gonna say, let's watch the purple, but that's that. That's the shade Magic. Let me know if you have the OG palette. If you still have yours, mine is holding up quite nicely, and I will not let it go. Now this one, I'm sorry y'all, this one's discontinued. Okay, and then I'm gonna get into some that aren't discontinued, because y'all gonna be like, I'm gonna turn the video off, and I don't want you to. But this one is called Feast Your Eyes. It's from McGrath Cosmetics, and I think that this palette was a huge success. And I just remember people really trying to find this palette when it came out. Might have been 2020, I can't remember. The special thing about this palette is the matte, because they're like cream to powder. So what I like about these mattes is that, similar to the Natasha Denona cream to powder shades, they don't go on super heavy, but you can build them up. And I am such a fan of that now, because I'm really trying to do like looks that have more of a gradient, that don't have any harsh lines. And sometimes when you know, have those pigments that are they just bam in your face and you can't build them up, sometimes you just start off, you start off too strong. And I've done that many a time. I'm looking at a lot of my old looks like, damn girl. But no, that's what it was at the time. It's fine. But like you see, that purple is soft and you can build it up. And I love that about the cream to powder type shades. Even this deep brown here, again, you know, the way it looks in the pan is deep, but look at it here on the skin. It's just light, and you're gonna have to, you know, add a little more, you know, a little elbow grease to kind of build it up. This is that light little peachy nudie type shade. So yeah, really nice. The shimmers here are, I would say, more toppery. So they are not going to, I know like that might not be your cup of tea, especially if you're an indie lover. But again, for someone who doesn't wear a lot of shimmers, that was great. You know, you are going to be able to build up the shades, you know, to the intensity that you want it to be. So that is why I love this palette, and I love this color story. So I will not let this one go. I mean, as long as it's okay to use. Let's go into this one here by Huda Beauty. I'm trying to think if I've worn this palette. This is the Empowered palette. I can't remember how many years ago this came out. Maybe 2. Oh, this looks unused. It looks like I might have used it one time. But this says fall to me, and I do like that you do have both warm and cool options in this palette. I don't know what people thought about the palette, but I think Huda Beauty has such a great eyeshadow formula, and I don't think people really talk about it that much. Like, she's got a lot of wins under her belt with makeup for me. Those liners that she came out with, the stains, I like the red one, but I don't know if that was much of a hit. But anyway, this though, this is really nice. Again, this is a palette where I can see myself doing some of those like sunset looks. But then you got these cool looks. Let's swatch a couple shimmers. That's Courageous. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, there's some nice shimmers here. I want to swatch one of these golds. Let's do Charisma. That one's calling for me. That's looking like the Pat McGrath Gold 001 or something. Oh man, look at that. Yeah, these are nice. I need to use this palette sometime soon. I'm trying to figure out what happened with this one, because that looks like I need to take it out. Oh, it's like a, I don't like how that looks. I wish she would just not do that anymore. I'm going to have to fix how that looks, because it's going to make me not want to use it. But that's that shade. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, no. I don't know about that. We can play around with that. But I'm loving this warm kind of corner here. Yeah, I like this. I like Huda Beauty's palettes. I know she's not going to be coming out. Well, she says she's not coming out with the big palettes anymore. But I'd be interested to see what she's going to do next. So we'll see. We're going to go into the Nomad Cosmetics segment of the video. And all of these palettes are still available. So we are first going to start with America's Parks. Now, this was a summer release. I don't care. I am just thrilled with this palette, and then they sent me the updated one with the new formula for their 10-year anniversary, and I have not used it yet. So this is a fresh view. Look at that. Okay, so I definitely see summer with this, but I also really see fall, like the little fall vibes. I love this palette. And I think when I did the video, I went through and talked about all the parks and definitely added some things to my bucket list. But I love that we have greens, we have sunset vibes, we have blues, we have a plum, brown. This is just perfection. Like, look at that. Do you have this? Let me know. This is a great palette. And they're charging, what, $44 for these palettes, which, you know, some of these palette prices are out of control. They're out of pocket, and it's just too much. I mean, I know it's a lot going on, but Nomad is keeping it at $44, and I'm thankful. And you know they're about to have a new palette come out. I hope I get it. I do. All right. Also reformulated is the Berlin Underground palette. Now this is like grungy fall. And that's why I love this palette. I think this color story is really good. Like really, really, really good. I love it. It's like the grungy America's Parks. Maybe, maybe not. But this is another really good palette. I am very excited to use it. Nomad has really worked on their shimmer formula over the years, and that makes me so happy because their mattes are great. But now that they've upped the shimmer game, like this palette right here, that's definitely fall, right? Honestly, this could be all season. All right, let me know what you think. But when I looked at this, it said fall to me at the time. So we're gonna keep it here. And then we have one more Nomad palette on the list. And if you're wondering where like Haunted Europe is and which city Salem and all that, those are in my basket for my Halloween. I'm pointing like y'all can see it. My Halloween palettes. So, okay, this one is discontinued. I'm so sorry. I did check. They need to bring it back. Hudson Valley. Y'all, whenever I think of fall, this is the very first palette that comes to mind. This one in, okay, yeah, this one. Hudson Valley. I was gonna say one of my Natasha Denona ones, but we'll get to it. But no, this, okay, do you see that? Look at it. Look at that red. Let's watch that red. I'm amazed that I still have embossings on this because I definitely use it each fall. I mean, I should use it more, but y'all know. All right, let's see. Let's swatch the red right here. Come on, red. That's a nice red right there. This palette, bring it back. Bring it back, Nomad. Now, what I like about this one is that this one is pretty much all matte, except the 3 shades in the middle. And the 3 shades in the middle separate the warm side from the cool side. And that makes it user-friendly for me because I don't have to really think about the shades that I want to put together. Matter of fact, in my mind, each column, and I just am realizing this right now for the first time, each column is a look. And then you could really interchangeably use the shimmers. Now, these shimmers, yeah, the shimmers are all right. Yeah, they're okay. I think they've definitely improved the shimmers since this palette, but that one's nice. It's nice. Like, they work. So that's what makes this palette really great. Like the separation. This right here, what's this called? Great Pumpkin Patch. This would be a one and done for me. Like one and done. This is what we're doing. I might wear it tomorrow to work. It's like a little, almost like a little peanut buttery brown. Oh yeah, that's nice. That is nice. Matches my headband. Like, this palette is so good. Okay, that concludes the Nomad section of the. Okay, now we're gonna get into the bougie section of the video. Now this palette I have not worn yet. I know. It's the Chanel BOUTONS in Couture. Now, why is this fall? Because it's all brown and because I haven't used it yet. That's why. So, yes, I think this is the first time I'm showing it on the camera. It's got this embossing here that nobody really cares about. What we care about is the embossing on the inside. Now, I am here for a brown, and I love, love, love this. Yes. It's almost kind of a cool tone. Look at those embossings. Look at that. And they'll be gone soon. But this is a palette where I'm probably just going to do a one and done or a two and done look. I just think it's so cool how they did that. So let me know. It's ridiculous, but I'm not mad. I'm really happy to have it. I probably, yeah, two and done. Like one of the deep mattes with one of the shades right here, like that, and interchange them out. But that's the BOUTONS Couture palette, and I'm really happy to have that. I tried to, in this video, stay away from like completely neutral palettes, because when I think about the neutral palettes, I mean, you have the warm neutrals and the cool neutrals, but the warm ones, you know, I think tend to lend themselves to fall because they do. Like, they incorporate a lot of browns and things like that. I was really trying to really go through my collection and find some things that were a little more unique, because at first I had like my Patrick Todd palette and I'm like, no girl, like that's just a brown palette. All right, we're gonna move on to Notoriously Morbid. I don't know if this one is available. This is Rusted Essence, and there have been 3 versions of this palette, but this is the only one that I like. This is the OG, and I think this is great. I love the 9-pan formula. I loved when Notoriously Morbid was doing the square pans. Like, there's something about the square pans with Notoriously Morbid that was just, I was such a fan. By the way, someone told me my code doesn't work anymore, so oops for me. But I love this palette and I love the formula. The mattes though, they're not my favorite formula of mattes because they are a bit powdery, but they do blend out really well. I just don't like super powdery mattes, but I will forego those mattes for these shimmers. They are so beautiful. They're shimmers that you probably want to use a glitter glue with because they're soft. Look at that. And they feel like, I can't explain it. You need a glitter glue, that's what I'm trying to say. I can't explain it. Like, they're not loose, but you're gonna make a mess. You know what I'm saying? But they're beautiful. And I just think this color story is fantastic. I really do. So I'm happy to have this. There are some palettes from Notoriously Morbid that at this point I am considering letting go of, but not this one. This next one, I'm wondering if they have the singles available, but they no longer have the palette. This is from Sydney Grace, and this is the Mountain Trail palette. I love this one. I love California Coast. I was thinking about that one too, but no, we're gonna go with this because look at that. This to me says changing leaves, you know, and I love the depth in this palette. You can get 3 pretty distinct looks if you want to go across the rows. You can kind of go across the columns too if you want to. I mean, matter of fact, you could even do diagonal. Let me find out. Yeah, Mountain Trail is all that. So I don't know if the actual singles are available. Yeah, this is great, actually. This is the first time I've looked at this palette in a really long time. And I'm like, girl, why are you not using this palette? I might use this palette tomorrow, truth be told, depending on what I'm wearing, of course. But this is awesome. It's very awesome. And I just love, like, whatever you do, you want to amp it up. You can just use this shade, which is Trailhead, which is beautiful because it is such a deep, deep green. You know what I mean? Like, from back here, well, it almost looks black, kind of. Like, a smoky eye. Like, oh my gosh. Okay, we need to do something with this. Let me know if you have Mountain Trail because that's gorgeous. Okay, I lost count. Do we want to go into the melt section or the Natasha Denona segment? Let's do the melt segment first. Did y'all see Mel coming out with the stack? I'm getting it, just like y'all know, the 12-hour, getting the little gel liner that goes with it. So y'all already know I'm getting it because I'm a melt stan, even when I don't want to be. We're gonna start with the discontinued one first. So sorry. Well, there's 2. You might be able to find this one though. 27 is that girl. This is probably one of my favorite melt palettes. And I think it moved up in my favorites when I started really getting into all matte looks because there's only 2 shimmers in this palette. And you have your warms, again, warms, cools. You got 2 shimmers that you can use with any look that you do with the palette. Now, this palette was made in the USA, but let me just check out this shimmer. I mean, not the greatest shimmers, and we know this, right? We know this about melt, but this one, I mean, it's okay. It's not gonna, you know, you're not gonna be all pumped up about it, but it's not like their worst shimmer because they've got some shimmers that just are not, they don't frost my cookies. But the mattes, I mean, the shimmers are just, there's only 2. So who cares? Like, and then, you know, these are magnetic. You can pop them out and put something else in if you want to and just have an all matte palette. Like if you have other melt palettes, I might consider doing that because this is just like, look at that shade right there. That's called Nip Slip. That is such a pretty shade. Like that all over the lid, this, and then maybe deepen it with Downtown. You gotta go downtown. All right, sorry. One more thing, that's a really nice shade right here. I love it. Oh, these are great. I don't even know what possessed me to buy this palette because I bought this way into my melt life because my very first melt palette is the one we're going to talk about now, which I'm also not sure if this is available, but this is the Rust palette, and this, y'all, please respect my privacy at this time. Okay, I did change out this shade. I always give a disclaimer because this was just like a cream color and I didn't understand about blend out shades. And now I look back and I'm like, girl, why did you take that out? But at the time, that's what I felt like I needed to do. And I put this one in instead. This is like probably a Give Me Glow single or something. I don't know. But that's the only one I changed. I love this shade Erode right here. That one's awesome. I mean, they're just all great, actually. Now let's see about the shimmers here. Redo or Redux. Let's see, let's do it here. Oh, that's nice, actually. That's not bad at all. Tarnish. Oh, let's look at Ravage. Ravage is a shimmer, but this is one that you could almost use that like, wow. You could almost use that like a matte though. Ooh, yeah, you could. This Rubbish, like these shades, there's just something so unique about this palette. This is not your typical neutral palette. Like this is like, you're in like the, you know, like when the leaves fall and they're like wet and like dark. I don't know. That's what it's reminding me of, dark, wet leaves. And I love it. Look at my box. Like I love this palette. This palette will never leave my side. I feel like I should get another one though, just in case. Cause like I still love this palette to this day. Like we're talking 5 years later, like I'm going strong with Rust. One of my top melt palettes. Now my last one that's discontinued, this is the perfect, I would say, summer transition to fall palette, and this is Amore Mariposas. And I'm really sorry if you did not get Amore Mariposas. First of all, this is their Italian formulation, which is fantastic. The shimmers are great in this palette. And just look at it. You got these little small pans. Oh my gosh. Do y'all remember when this collection came out in 2020? That whole box, that PR box was like, oh, that PR box was like $400. It was out of control, but it was so beautiful. But you know what? I opened up, oh my God. I opened up the gel liner, the blue one, and man, it had dried up. Now I'm sure you're gonna tell me that I could put some, what's it called, from Inglot, Doraline. I could put some Doraline in it probably. So I'll let y'all know if that works. The gold one is still somewhat okay. Now my other melt cream gel bases or whatever they're called, those were fine last time I checked. But this palette eventually went on sale for like 28 bucks. That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry if you did not get it because they had a sale, a real sale. And you know Melt will do it. They will put their whole site on sale for 50% off. I'm waiting for them to do the new pink lipsticks and liners. Because yeah, I want those. I want those liners. I want them. And I want those lipsticks. Even though the Melt Matte lipsticks can be a little dry, I still do love them. And I love this palette. I don't think I really talked too much about the palette. But yes, so summer transitions, well, kind of transition to fall. It's not like in order, but you know, you got your greens, your blues, that's your summertime. And then we're starting to get like some of those like, you know, browns, reds. I mean, that doesn't, we're not going to include that. But yes, I love this palette. I think this is great for fall looks, harvest festivals, all that good stuff. You got the monarch butterflies, which, you know, they migrate to Mexico around this time, actually. The first grade teachers at my school, their caterpillars are nice and fat, and they will be making their chrysalises very soon. So I think this palette is perfect for fall. Right, we are gonna go into a luxury moment. Thomas! Okay, this palette, I don't even remember how much I spent, and whatever it was probably a shame, because I'm telling you, I did not get this when it launched. But I always wanted the red harness palette, and this is called Shade and Illuminate Face and Eye palette. I don't know when these came out, but I knew I wanted red harness, and I was getting my hands on it, and it did not matter. And this is just a treasure. It is a treasure, and I love it, and I will always love it. Look at that. I just love it. I don't think they're worth the price, obviously, but it's too late because I already have it. Okay, so this shade right here, I love that. It reminds me of a shade in the family of Deep Dive and Rhodium from the Natasha Denona Bronze palette, which you will see shortly. And we've got like the copper, the red. We have a beautiful white here and a bronzer. Is the mirror still on here? Yeah, because I've been keeping this pristine, but I'm gonna have to pull this out and just use it, you know, one and dones, or just, you know, taking one of these shades and deepening it up with this deep purple shade. I just think it's beautiful. I always loved this. I did. And so, you know, sometimes it's just worth it when you find it to get it. And I have never regretted having it. And I will always have it because I love it very much. Red Harness by Thomas Ford. This is my baby. It sits out on my dresser. I don't care if I never even use it again. I will, but I'm just saying, this is a treasure in my collection. I just love it. And I love that it's called Red Harness. And this red, I'm so sorry, Nomad. Y'all better go ahead with this red. That might be the best red I've ever seen. Let me know your favorite red shadow, because this might be it. All right, we're going to end with the Natasha Denona segment because I have 4 palettes. I know. Don't. We're going to talk about one palette by Artist Couture, which is still available on the Artist Couture website. It's like $38, and this is Supreme Bronze. Y'all, why are we not still loving this palette? This is a gorgeous palette. This palette is so great. That one is Supreme Nudes. Like, I know the violet one, Supreme Mauve, that was not the formula from what I heard. But this, friends, okay, this is work, this is glam, this is date, this is day. It's everything. And you have this one cool row just in case you want to do some cool tone situations. You can just use that. But then you have all these little beautiful shades right here. These golds or orange, the nice browns. Like, this is such a good palette. Like, where's Artist Couture? What are they doing? Because they could be doing more things. Look at that. That is so pretty. I don't know what they're doing. That's pretty. I think that this is not gonna, like, it's not a pow, like, in your face. Like, when I think about the cosmic brushes, shimmers, and things like that, I think this one's gonna have a ease of use for the user. And that's what I think is so great about this. This is great. Like, this with this and then this. I'm gonna have to use this. This is a really nice palette. Let me know if you have this one or Supreme Nudes. Supreme Nudes is great. That is a really good one. We've come to the portion of the video. Yes, last 4 palettes. So I'm not keeping count, but this is the wrap up and the Natasha Denona segment of the video. If you do not know, I love Natasha Denona palettes, and so we're gonna talk about them. Now, one is an honorable mention, like if you can't get your hands on the other one. So we're gonna start with the bronze palette. And do you know, I was looking up the bronze palette and I saw one for like $29.99 on, it might've been eBay. Cause I'm thinking about it, y'all. Like, yeah, I'm thinking about it. This is my very first Natasha Denona palette and I did not pan this shade. I broke it somehow. How you break a cream to powder, I don't know, but I love bronze. Now, I think that with bronze, it could be too warm for some, too orange. You know what I mean? I like it on me, but for some, it could be too much. So the next one I'm going to suggest might be for you, but I love these types of shades, and I just think it's a beautiful palette. Deep Dive and Rhodium were the ones I was talking about. Rhodium is the one that looks like the one in the Tom Ford palette, and this one's that beautiful cream to powder. So is Deep Dive, and I think those are the only 2 cream to powders in the palette. We have this shade Silk, which is almost like a duochrome. This one's not like, it's really not the best formula, I don't think. That's right here, but it's still pretty good. I love these mattes. I know they may be, you know, a bit similar, but I just think it's a great palette. I really do. Again, it's my first Natasha Denona palette. It has a special place because of that. I love these types of shades on my skin tone, and so I think that's going to be a great one for fall. You know, she had her Sunset palette. That was like the big one. I have that one as well, but I did not bring it out because I just was not trying to do too much. Now, the new one that I have is the Dramatic Eye Sculpt Texture and Tone palette, and I thought this one would be great for fall. And if you don't have the, okay, that's not, I'll come back to that because that's the soft palette in there. If the bronze is too warm for you, you can always go with the I Need a Warm palette, which I think is really great for fall. You've got like these peachy nudes, and then You have, well, they're peachy colored. Yeah, they're peachy nudes. You've got a nice duochrome in here, which gives you a little bit of excitement there if you're looking for that. But this palette is so good and it's so easy. And I just think that for those who don't like to wear reds and those really like vibrant bronze shades, this is almost like a muted version. And you even have some, like, they're not cool, but they're leaning cool. Maybe they're true neutrals that are there in the palette. That's a nice duochrome there. It's like diet duochrome. Like, it's not going to be too much, and it looks really good on the eye. So yeah, I love the warm palette. That was more of an honorable mention. I'm going to just end with the dramatic palette so I don't have to get up. Tasha, so in case you see this video, I'm going to say it every time. We are waiting for another Metropolis. This one definitely screams fall to me. She's got cream to powders here. She just has really beautiful formulas here. And I love the cream to powders. I love them. Like this green one right here. Again, I just love the buildability of the cream to powder shades, where look how sheer it's kind of going on. You're not going to have to worry about putting on too much, and then they blend really well. This one is one of my favorite shades. I've rearranged my palette, so I don't know what the shades are called. Like, I have no clue at all. I don't even know if all these are the original shades. Hey, buddy. It's only 7:38.
What time am I going to bed?
So probably like 8:45, 9.
But I want to get my hair now. But I don't want to, like, I want to save it for later.
I understand.
I want to eat it.
Well, why don't you just get a snack for right now?
Well,
That's pretty.
I don't know what to get.
Okay, well, just look around. There's snacks available. Love this.
Like, what kind of snack?
Okay. I need you to hand me that second palette. Look, so that's Metropolis. We're waiting on the new version. I'm talking it up. It's going to come. Okay. All right. So yeah, Discontinued. I had to bring my baby out, y'all. Oh, we're also waiting for this one, Natasha. We're waiting for the Triochrome midi. We're waiting on that. I'm waiting on it because the mini wasn't it. It was all blue. No. This. Okay. Does it say fall? I don't know. I don't care. I love this palette so much. This is such a good palette. I don't care. I'm bringing out this fall. What season is this? Spring? No. It's too grungy for spring. I don't care. I love this palette so much. Like, it is just so, it's so good. It's so good. You know, this is what, she takes risks. And that's what I'm into, the risks. You know, every palette might not be for everyone, but I feel like you can find a Natasha Denona palette for you. You can. All right, so now I'm gonna harp on that because we can't get that. But here's the dramatic palette, and I'll have to switch the boxes. So if you don't have bronze or warm, I feel like this gives you the best of both worlds. And you have a whole beautiful row of shimmers here, including this one here, which is, it's like a sparkly purple. So nice. In the same shade family as Deep Dive and Rhodium from the bronze palette. This is such a good one, y'all. This is so good. And she does have a couple of the cream to powders in here, so you don't have to worry if you didn't get to try one of those. It's not a whole lot. Let me see. Well, it's like one. I think it's only one. Whatever. One is good. But this one to me is a combo of I Need a Warm and bronze and maybe Biba, you know. So I think this one's great. It's very travel friendly. It's small, it's sleek, you know what I'm saying? She did a good job with this palette. And you know, of course, with this, wait for a sale, a real sale. You're gonna wait for a sale if this is a palette that you're into. But this one definitely says fall to me. I know this is a neutral. I tried not to include a bunch of neutral palettes, but I love this. And I think what I really love is the variety of looks that you can get with this palette. So those are my fall palettes. And just as I was getting up, I saw that I forgot one of the palettes that I had sitting on the bed. So we're gonna put this one in, y'all. This one is the Stone and Rock palette from Odin's Eye. Yes, okay. This one's gonna give me the same type of vibe as Undergrowth. Yes. Kind of. Me and Odin's, we just have not been friends. Like, I've not bought anything from Odin's Eye in years, but I'm willing to pull this one back out and try it. You know, I just get upset with the hard pan, but I just love the matte shades in this palette. And like the shimmer choices are great as well. It's just that they just get so hard panny. Like, that one's not even really swatching. This one right here. And I just hate the idea of having to do so much manipulation with the palettes. Ooh, that one's really nice. Now they need to do all their shimmers like this one. This one's very silky smooth. I can get with that. Wait a minute, you can't see it. Hold on. I don't even have nowhere to put the daggone swatch. Yeah, I can get with that. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I can definitely get with that. But like the murky greens, I'm just a huge fan of these like earthy color stories. I'm sure that was in my earthy video as well. Look at this one. I picked out a similar shade from the Nomad palette, the pumpkin patch shade, similar to that. This one's good. I'm gonna see if I can work with this one. I might be able to work with this one. Do you have this? Let me know. Okay, now back to wrapping up the video. I know this was lengthy and I'm talking a lot, but one thing that I do love talking about, even though I'm not wearing it a lot, is eyeshadow. And I think that the reason that I feel like that is because it's like when I think about music, I think about the year, what was going on, what was happening. So I can tell you a lot of my 2020 palettes because that's when I started to really get into makeup, where if a palette was my first from the brand, you know, those things really stand out to me. So even if I'm not wearing the palette, they still bring me joy talking about them. Now, I don't know how long that joy is going to last, where I'm like, I need to keep everything. But right now, there are some palettes that I probably won't really be wearing. Like, I don't feel like that about any of the palettes that I showed in this video. But there definitely are some, but I'm not ready to let go of them. And one day I might be, but NRN, not right now. They're just special. They're like, I have like hundreds of little children. That's a lot. So, you know, I am trying to get my collection down, especially if there's something that I haven't thought about or even brought out for a video in a year or years. You know what I'm saying? Those are things where I'm like, okay, maybe someone else can enjoy it and, you know, whatever. But that is it for my fall eyeshadow palettes, and I'd love to know some of your favorites, so please share them below. Do you rotate your makeup? I have talked to some of you do rotate and, you know, put things away and take things out. Right now I have everything out. I do have, my room is horrible. That's why I've never showed it, because the organization is something I'm working on. I got these 2 new cabinets or drawers. They're like those Alex drawers that I see a lot of people with. I think those are going to be really great for my palettes. And I'm almost thinking like, whatever doesn't fit in there, we got to make some choices, girl, because it's a lot. So that's it. I'm so excited for fall. Football's on. Ravens got Monday Night Football, so that might be happening during this video. And I love hoodie weather and sweater weather, and I just love the leaves changing and the temperature cooling down. Just to taste, you know, I'm not a winter person, but I just love the fall vibes. I like Halloween and Thanksgiving, and I'm just happy and I'm blessed. So I'm so glad that I got a chance to film this video and share it with you. So please share some of your favorites, and that's gonna be it. Thank you so much for taking out some of your time and hanging out with me for another one today. I do hope this was therapy for you. It always is for me. And until I see you again, make sure you are being gentle with yourself. Talk to yourself nice, stay safe, and I will see y'all in another one. Bye.